Netflix wants faster access to box office blockbusters, and its point man in Hollywood tells Bloomberg he'll write big checks to make that happen. Netflix wants to bulk up its streaming video service. It already has a massive online library with 17,000 movies and TV shows, but film studios get first crack at selling new releases before they're available as rentals. While DVD sales are a huge moneymaker for Hollywood, Netflix Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos says, "We're not destroying anything, we're creating a new opportunity. But that opportunity will likely come at a cost. Analysts say Netflix needs to cough up more money to get faster access to films, not to mention offer an olive branch. Studios threw a fit when Netflix bypassed Disney and Sony to get their movies through the Starz cable channel. Meanwhile, with sales expected to climb 22% this year, Netflix shares have certainly been hot. Some analysts see it as a takeover target, although most are cautious given that 90% run-up. Well, let's talk to one of those analysts and see what he thinks. Joining us now to discuss Netflix plans, one of the top-ranked analysts on Netflix, Mike Olson, senior research analyst at Piper Jaffray. Mike, thanks for your time this morning. Let's start with this idea of Netflix working the Hollywood studios to try to get earlier access to films. How is that strategy going, and is it going to pay off?
Yeah, good morning. I think it's going pretty well for Netflix. They're doing a few things right. One thing from a high level, too, is that I think the studios are, somewhat resistant here, but maybe not as resistant as some people would think. And the studios have really had the benefit of seeing what the music labels had to go through during their transition to digital. And the music labels really resisted the transition to digital. And I think the studios, given the piracy that they saw with some of what happened in the music industry, are really more embracing digital distribution, given they see that's kind of the format of the future. And as they do that, they really have to embrace some of these aggregators like Netflix. Yeah. And I think as part of what Netflix is doing, they're definitely seeing some success there.
Well, just building on what you're saying, obviously DVDs, when they're first released, are a huge moneymaker for Hollywood. But DVD sales overall, if you look at a few years, obviously a lot of question marks about how many DVD copies are going to be sold, right?
Yeah, that is a huge question mark. One thing, too, that I think people don't recognize is that about 55% of movie rental revenue this year is still coming from retail rental stores. And, the studios are going to need to kind of continue to diversify outside of that channel, because we expect movie rental revenue from retail stores will continue to decline. And what we're going to see, I think, is an uptick in channels like DVD by mail, like kiosks such as Redbox, and then importantly, and probably most importantly going forward, digital delivery.
And that would certainly help explain why a stock like Netflix has been so hot and Blockbuster not. What is your outlook for this stock? You're still actually optimistic even with this big run-up this year.
Yeah, I think Netflix has a couple key competitive advantages. There's no doubt they're going through a significant transition right now. But at the same time, they already have 12 million subscribers for their DVD by mail service that they can kind of try to transition to digital distribution. And they're also doing a good job of helping to get over one of the biggest hurdles to adoption of digital delivery, which is the ability to easily get content to a television. Netflix has created this device ecosystem with partners like Sony with the PS3, Microsoft with the Xbox, and other Blu-ray and flat panel TV makers to create an ecosystem to easily enable content to be able to be streamed to a TV.
Right.
And we estimate that device ecosystem is now over 20 million devices.
Mike, I can't let you go before we ask whether or not this company will ultimately be acquired by somebody else. There's constantly chatter out there, maybe Amazon.com. Do you think this company will be acquired?
Amazon has some tax issues related to acquiring Netflix, so I don't know if that one will happen. I do ultimately think that there are many potential acquirers for this company as they continue to gain steam and gain more subscribers and really kind of become, the next major company for digital distribution of movies.
All right. Mike Olson, senior research analyst at Piper Jaffray, joining us on the Netflix story.